Sydney Rogers, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com. We are live inside the FingerLakes1.com studios where it is May 1st, 2019, and I am joined by Jim Senacropi and Josh Durso.
Here we are.
Back to the three screens.
Yep.
Jessica's off for just this week or next week too?
I think it's like 3 weeks she's off.
Well,
for.
3 of the next 4.
Oh, okay.
She's out for.
Unfortunately.
She will be back.
Yeah, she will be back, but I guess I will take her spot.
There you are.
And do what I can do to help us out. But,
Yeah.
Today's episode is sponsored.
We got a sponsor.
We do, and it is brought to you by the Herman Brothers in Lyons. They are holding their annual spring clearance sale, and everything is marked down and priced to sell. You can save big money on top brands in the furniture industry, and if you buy it today, you get it today, which is awesome. You can get more details at hermanbrotherslyons.com.
That's wild.
I looked at the stuff.
Buy it today, get it today. That almost doesn't even seem logistically possible.
They have lots of trucks out there always, so they have guys just ready to.
They're ready to
bring
rock and roll.
Your furniture to any destination.
That has got to be, as one of their delivery people, that must be one of the most rigorous jobs you could possibly. You don't know if you're going to have to move like a 600-pound couch or a dresser or an entire.
Guys, they can get that stuff into your house through small doorways.
Yeah.
And then,
How?
They're magicians.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, Herman Brothers, we're glad they're part of the Finger Lakes One Marketing Alliance now, and how long have they been in business?
Long.
Did I see 80?
Yeah,
80-something years.
I don't want to say the wrong years, but
Decades.
I could look it up. It's been decades. It's been definitely a family business that they've passed down to different generations. And Gene is awesome. He's the one that I work with now, and he holds down the fort.
You buy local,
Amazing.
Keep your business local, and
Always gotta.
yeah.
We're trying to redo our whole kitchen, so I was like, hey, Gene, could you put all this to the side for me and keep it at this price? He's like, we'll have another sale. So that's great. But
Spring clearance sale.
I want to.
Local places like that can do more sales and have more events like that than the chains that you see, the
That's
national
true.
chains. They're driven by completely different world and different values. So,
Does make
shop local.
sense.
It makes sense.
I'm always about the shop local.
Well, you get to actually see the piece that you're buying.
Yeah, and it's not just a staged piece or something like that.
Wayfair
Oh, yeah.
or some of those other online furniture consortiums. What you get is not what you saw on the picture sometimes.
You
A
walk
lot
right
of
in,
it,
it's
man.
all there
Yeah.
for you to sit on every single chair and see which one is comfiest to you. But I really want to talk about Woodstock and how it's been so crazy lately. And I have people saying, like, you just posted on Finger Lakes One that Woodstock is canceled, and now you're posting that it's not canceled. Like, you're wrong. Which one's right? And I'm like, listen.
Okay. It is so complicated. This is all right. So here's what happened in the last basically 4 days. This week that changed everything. On Monday, the primary financial backer who was putting up, we'll say between conflicting reports there, but millions of dollars, probably in the neighborhood of $20 to $25 million to make Woodstock 50 happen, pulled out.
Yikes.
And when they did so, they released a statement saying that Woodstock 50 was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the organizer, the primary organizer and the co-founder, Michael Lang, he responded that day and then responded with an official statement the next day saying, whoa, wait a second, we got to pump the brakes because this financial backer, no matter how significant a role they may play, they aren't actually the ones who make the call of whether Woodstock 50 will happen or
Right.
not. He compared it to back in 1969 when they had to change venues within basically 30 days of the event happening.
Wow.
And it still happened and everything was fine and the event went off without a hitch. That said, there are a lot of issues with this right now, and the big driver behind the uncertainty is the permitting process and the different steps that are, any event when you're talking about tens of thousands and perhaps as many as 75,000 or 100,000 people coming to one place, A lot of regulation you have to jump through.
So when is it going to be? When are you going to be able to buy your tickets? When are you going to be able to it's $450 for tickets? So you're not going to want to, people need confidence that it's going to happen.
Every single the permits have to be in, essentially. Every single permit has to be approved and solidified before they can start selling tickets. In particular, it's the mass gathering permit that's the real sticking point. That's where the number's been fluctuating. That's when it went from 100,000 down to 75,000. That's when some of the folks within started to get concerned about whether it was going to be viable or not. That is the main hurdle that has to be cleared right now. Once that is cleared, then tickets will be able to be sold. That said, I don't think they're going to have any trouble selling tickets, even at $450 a pop for 3 days. That is precisely in line with every other major music festival in the United States right now.
Did Woodstock, the original Woodstock, charge tickets? I think that was free. You just showed up. Yeah,
I'm not sure how the original Woodstock went down. It's interesting because
that would be cool to see.
And we talked about it here, where a lot of people have been concerned about the logistics of Watkins Glen and the town of Dix being able to actually handle the influx of that many people. Pretty sure the first Woodstock was a complete disaster as far as logistical. Within a 50-mile radius, it was a total mess.
The New York Thruway is closed, but they had a lot more than 75,000 people.
Right, but it's the point. When you get any sort of event of this scale in a place anywhere, it's going to cause gridlock. That is just a side effect of having that many people come in. But at the same time, you're talking about tens of thousands, maybe hundreds or maybe millions of dollars coming in, just in the periphery.
Millions,
just in terms of what people are spending at businesses in Watkins Glen and Schuyler County. One of the things that they were talking about was a lot of bed and breakfasts and a lot of the hotels and sort of lodging around that area is already booked for the 16th to the 18th of August.
Even if you don't have your tickets,
right?
Booking to have somewhere to stay is going to be a big thing.
3.5 months away.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's next year.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of these bed and breakfasts and places, they don't have any trouble booking in August anyway.
They don't, but I think if you come in, because I'm not sure what the timeline is for the race in Watkins Glen. I believe that's either early August or late July. So what tends to end up happening is 6 to 8 months before the event happens, you start to see a lot of the lodging fill up.
Right.
And, it does create that challenge where if you're a bed and breakfast or if you are one of those hotels and you're at max capacity right now and then 2 weeks from now you find out, or maybe it's 30 days before the event's supposed to happen, you find out that it's not going to, will you be able to fill those spaces back up? I don't know. And I don't know about that. But
will people get their money back?
Yeah, I think you would get your money back. Although every bed and breakfast
I was gonna say,
has their own policy.
Yeah.
I think if you're staying at hotels, I think have a pretty tough. Yeah, they have a pretty hard line approach to refunds, which means usually the airlines, you're not getting money back. You might get some sort of maybe credit or discount in the future if it's an unforeseen.
Come anyway, though. Enjoy the region without all the.
I mean,
do that.
There's an argument to be made that
Jay-Z.
If you're planning to come here and the primary driver isn't the music per se, but the area, it would be an even better experience because you are going to be able to experience the Finger Lakes a whole lot better.
Yeah.
If there isn't 75,000 or 100,000 people piling in.
Yep.
Well, hopefully you keep us all up to date on that as we move forward, because it really is. It's so funny. People are doing memes about it now. People are being hilarious on the internet, of course, on if it's going to happen or not, and that's the trouble with something like this. Is it's almost better if all the planning were happening behind the scenes and nobody heard about it, because it turns into a laughing stock because there's just the inconsistency. I mean, issues and challenges and the permitting process, I guess, is probably super complicated. Every single event that ever happens, especially when you're talking about a music festival with this many moving parts. So, it's just not ever as publicized, I feel
exactly.
as this is. But it's very interesting.
It is interesting.
I look forward to seeing if it happens or not. I still have no clue what will happen with it, but It would be great if it did.
One of the Rochester TV stations was in Geneva yesterday, and then now Geneva's released a concept drawing of what 5 and 20 could look like after the DRI funds are put into place.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it would turn 5 and 20 through Geneva into one lane.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
You'll have it'll be reduced down. Well, you know what? Waterloo. Same thing happened in Waterloo. A lot of people thought that was going to be the worst thing in the world. There was going to be congestion, traffic, jams, accidents, all kinds of things.
There's never a traffic jam through there anyway. It's not that high. I mean, it's a consistently high trafficked
area.
Roadway from, Lowe's in Waterloo, Geneva to Wegmans, that whole stretch. But both lanes are never like jam packed.
No, and the upside is this will slow traffic down. They haven't gotten the clearance yet to lower the speed limit, but I would imagine that will be coming next. You'll probably see it move down to 35.
Oh my!
Which not a big deal. It moves down to 35. 500 or 600 yards up the road anyway.
All over 5 and 20.
Yeah,
because 5 and 20 isn't interstate. Well, what is it?
It's just a state highway. It's not intended to be. When arterials were built, whether you're talking about the one in Cuyahoga County or the one in Ontario County, you're talking about basically creating a bypass system for trucks and that type of traffic to get by quickly. That's not. You're trying to connect downtown to the lakefront, and you want people to be able to walk. You want people to be able to get across without rolling the dice, and God only knows what happens.
They said in the report that 30 seconds is the time you get to cross there.
That just happened to me 2 weekends ago. We went to watch one of our friends at a Hobart lacrosse girls game, and we were at Dana's timeout, and we're like, all right, time to play Frogger. And I'm like, no, don't go. And then everybody just runs, and I'm like, oh, great, here it is. Someone's going to run me over, because you don't know. And it's such a bad space.
And they say 30 seconds, but I wouldn't want to spend 30 seconds on 5 and 20 slowly crossing.
I'm always running.
I think most people are darting in 5 or 10 seconds, and that's it.
The people that you see that are walking and then standing in the middle of the road and stuff, they do that every day, and they're taking their chances. They're like, I know what's going to come.
The other plus to this, though, is that there will be 2 bike lanes on each side incorporated into it.
Right? Yeah.
Which will, I think, especially in a place like Geneva where you do have more people using alternative transportation compared to the regular just cars, that'll be a big plus for them there for making that traffic more safe. I actually worry more when I'm driving. I worry more about people on bicycles who don't have a designated lane and a safe space to drive in than I do people walking. Because people walking aren't intentionally in the road. Yeah. People riding a bicycle are intentionally in the road.
Making the signals while they're...
And the worst part is they're driving with traffic.
Yeah.
They're not walking against it, or they're not crossing perpendicular. So it's just like a bicyclist is way, way, way more of a concern of liability, I think, at least for me.
Well, let's give them their lane then.
Yeah, give them their lane.
Stay in their lane.
We need to get to pictures, though.
Yeah, we have
a lot of photos.
Got some photos here.
I wanted to hear. Okay, I thought we were going to.
We might be able to. We might be able to get to the
topic for the end if we can get to it.
All right, so we are going to start out our local photos today, where it's finally looking a little more like spring in this photo by Shelley Lannon. Beautiful.
There it is.
It is. Although that must have been a few days ago because the leaves are coming out.
I think it was the middle of
North End.
Yeah, I think it was the second half of last week.
We had a floater on Sodus Bay in this shot by Kathy Content. Oh, is that dock floating? Oh, no. It's
well.
Are they called floaters?
So one of the comments on this photo suggested that it was a pelican, and that it was very rare for a pelican to be in this area. I have never heard of a pelican being in the Finger Lakes.
Be a pelican.
The beach does look like it, though.
It's like
if something's in it.
Yeah, I guess.
If somebody knows birds, who's listening, and I know there's a lot of people watching this who know birds.
Yeah.
Please tell us what this is that we're staring at right now.
So we don't run afoul.
I even knew that one. Waterfowl. See? Right? All right. Well, I still like it. Chris Trine captured this great look at some osprey, who returned
Osprey.
after a
Osprey.
long, hard winter.
Yeah, there's a lot of these Osprey. There's a lot of these Osprey houses on top of telephone poles. You know, these little.
I do like seeing that.
Enclosures for them to build a nest in. And we have one right off the 9th green at Seneca Falls Country Club as you enter. So if you're ever driving down Route 89 or pulling into the Seneca Falls Country Club, you look up and he's up there. So we're putting on the 9th green. That bird's always just watching. And
that's awesome.
A lot of times he's coming back from the lake with a fish in his mouth.
What? You need to take a picture of that. You need to get an action shot. This red barn stands out against the greening territory in this photo by Shelley Lannon. Oh, I love that. That looks like a painting almost.
All these red barns are going to be gone in 10 years.
She did post one that she took a while ago, and then what it looks like now, and I was like, that is sad.
Gone.
Yeah.
Well, any working farms now are using, pole barns with steel roofs. It's so these are going to deteriorate, and they're just not worth restoring.
But they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of people are tearing them down and using the lumber as reclaim for their homes.
Yeah, that's a trend.
Their house projects.
Jeffrey Winter captured this awesome photo along Canandaigua Lake.
That's a real winner.
Yeah, funny. I like that one.
Not really.
And Dave Miller got this one perched above the town of Fayette last week. That's Cayuga Lake in the distance.
There you go.
Oh, that's different. I like it. It looks like a lot of dead grass, but that's
Farmers'
what farming.
Fields waiting to be planted for the new season.
There were some really interesting colors on this bird captured by Judy Goodman in Ontario County.
It's a starling.
Ooh, what is
that? What it is?
Yep.
You are so smart, Jim. I like how it's got like the purple and fades into the blue.
Yeah, they originally were imported from Europe. They aren't native of North America.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, need to know anything else about the starling? Just ask me.
All right. Well, we're glad that they're around.
That starling is a star.
Another bird with plenty of blue on it. This one by Nancy Jacobs, taken in South Bristol.
The official bird of New York State.
Yeah.
The eastern bluebird.
And it's not fully blue?
No, the breast is usually orangish, light orange.
That's a cool photo.
Coat is blue, but the color of the blue is such a unique. It almost looks fake, but
bird looks a little thin.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
Looks like he could use a couple extra seeds next time he's at the feeder.
Go get some worms.
Well, spring and summer's coming. They probably eat better in the
bulk up.
Yep.
Ed Traffigan captured this cloudless view from Italy Hill in Yates County. Wow.
Nice. That one's cool.
That is awesome.
There's something about that one. That's
beautiful. Nice. And Tracy Christensen caught this fantastic sunrise in Yates County.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Going to be some great sunsets and sunrises coming up over the next few months.
I can't wait. Judy Goodman caught this bird serving as Overwatch. Oh, love
that's
it.
An osprey, I think. I believe that's an osprey.
He looks a little crazy with his hair, like his patches of black and white on his head.
He's paying attention.
Like a Game of Thrones character bird.
Oh, geez. Sorry. We don't watch it here, so Jessica's not here to think that makes sense. A stunning shot by Justin Shaw of the Seneca Knit, which will become the home of the National Women's Hall of Fame next year. Yes. That is a very beautiful shot.
When that is all finished, finally, I mean, it's just going to transform the whole canal harbor, really, and then hopefully other projects can build off it. But at night, when that's lit up like that, that's pretty cool. They just need more landscaping and finish it.
Robert Stopper shared this view from the Lions Dry Docks as final preparations were made for another year along the Erie Canal. That's different, too. I like that.
It looks more like a military satellite photo from, 1970. That doesn't even look like...
This century?
The colors look like faded.
It's awesome. Karen Bardo snapped a quick look at this cardinal who was easily spotted against the largely brown background.
Little fog mixed in there, I think, as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Beautiful. And last but not least, Judy Goodman shared this photo with us from Clifton Springs. Ooh.
Another bird.
I don't know that one, sorry.
Jim, where's the eyeball on that bird?
It's there.
Is that that little white speck or no?
No, it's black. He's black-eyed.
Oh, awesome.
There's a black-eyed southeastern grosbeak.
Oh, wow. That sounded fancy.
Yeah,
so
I just made it up,
see.
though, so I don't know what that is.
But everybody had great photos. If you would like to share your local photos from across the Finger Lakes, you can click on the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right of our homepage at fingerlakes1.com.
Which one's the favorite?
Oh.
It's tough. None of them really stood out as clearly the best, and they're all good. And
I'm stuck between two, but I think I have a favorite.
I think I like this one. Go ahead,
so
Josh.
I think I'm going to go with Shelley's Red Barn.
Wow.
It's one of them. Okay. So, Shelley's Red Barn, and then I am going to go with... I'm stuck between two. Okay, I'm going to go with Ed Traffigan's captured the cloudless view from Italy Hill. I love the silhouette in it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you went with the Red Barn because that was my choice too. So I get to go with it. And
Yay!
there you go, Shelley Land, and you got the photo of the week with the fading
That was
Red
beautiful.
Barn. And do we know where that is from?
Not sure.
I do not know. It does not say.
It's roadside.
Wow.
It's right off the road.
Jim Porupski just dropped some really fast knowledge on us here. The floater bird at Sodus Bay is a pelican. He says it's not uncommon for one to be in the Finger Lakes region. Montezuma usually has one visit every year. They stay around for a couple weeks and then take off. So
that is
Jim,
awesome.
Thank you.
Jim.
Cleared
stay
that,
away for a
cleared
couple
that up.
weeks
So
before
they
head
come
where?
here for a couple weeks and then they take off.
On the way
Sydney,
north
Australia.
right now?
I don't know which.
Finding
He
Nemo.
didn't
Should
say
be
which
going
direction
north
they're
at
going.
this point, right? Most birds would be heading north now, and especially a pelican.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm so glad that he knew that.
That's it. There he is.
But
That's
again,
a pelican.
If you want to submit your content, it's at the bottom right of our homepage at fingerlakes1.com.
Do it.
Thank you, everybody, for your photos. And now let's get some good news, hopefully, from this weather. Please, Jim.
Well, it's May now, so
Yes.
we're at least getting there. In 4 weeks from now, it'll be Memorial Day weekend, and summer will officially start. Even though summer officially doesn't start till June 21st, I believe is the first day of summer. But
Sounds so far away.
yeah, it's not. It'll be over before you know it. But Friday, occasional showers, possibly a thunderstorm in the morning, then showers likely in the afternoon, high near 67. 80% chance of rain, so in some parts could get as much as a quarter to a half inch of rain. But then the weekend gets a lot nicer after that. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high near 60, just a chance of a morning shower. And then my pick day of the weekend, Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high near 65. That's a nice day.
I'll take that.
Come back to work on Monday to partly sunny skies and a high of 64. So as it stands now, highly changeable this time of year is the weather. I don't think the forecast can be counted on outside of 2 to 3 days. Once you get beyond that, it could totally take a 360. But
I agree on that.
But a pretty good weekend, except got some rain last night. We're going to get some more rain tonight. We're going to get some more rain Thursday night into Friday and Friday. So
according to the farmers,
it's going to be wet.
Rain is a good thing, though.
We do need rain to survive, but I wish we didn't get so much of it right now. I did mow my lawn on Monday night, so that's done. And it's almost ready to mow again. Grass grows so fast this time of year.
TJ got all the mulching and everything done. I did not help.
I got to do that Saturday, but that takes a lot out of me. I usually have 30 bags.
Yeah, he had like that many bags and had to go get more. And I was like, I'm sorry, my back is just so bad. I can't help you. So I got out of it this year, which
How
is
convenient.
true. It is true.
I might get bulk mulch this year delivered and dumped.
You could do it on mulch day coming up.
Well, no, you have to go get it yourself, and you have to have a proper vehicle to do that.
Oh, you could borrow someone in the family.
Another note from a person watching, Shelley Landon says that last bird that we didn't know what it was that you came up with a really creative name for was actually an eastern phoebe. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly.
Phoebe.
Eastern phoebe.
I like that even better. But
so that's that.
Awesome.
All right.
We've got knowledge.
Thank
we got
you.
fact checkers.
I love Shelley's Red Barn, though, so congrats again.
We made the right choice.
Yeah, we did. She's happy, I'm sure. That's why she gave us the little drop of knowledge. But
some stuff going on this weekend, right, Sid?
Yes. I wanted to go over a few things that's going on this weekend with this better weather. On Friday night at 6 p.m., Ryan Chiropractic is holding a painting party, which features Steve
Dupre.
I knew that, too. Steve Dupre. I hear him all the time here. The cost is $35, and it includes all the supplies you'll need to create your own piece of art that you can take home. You can call 315-539-3262 to reserve your spot. That's different. I like it. They have a really good space in Ryan Chiropractic that they can do it. Very serene.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second weekend of the Wine and Herb Festival on the Cayuga Lake Wine Trail. You can get more information and tickets at CayugaWineTrail.com. That speaks for itself.
We talked about that last week quite a bit.
And then there is a lineup along the north end of Seneca Lake in Geneva on Saturday to watch the sunrise before running the annual Middle Finger 5K, which raises funds for Thrive to Survive, a Geneva-based nonprofit that supports adults with cancer and their families in communities surrounding Seneca Lake. You can learn more and sign up at thrivetosurvive.org.
We had one of the event organizers in studio for the Weber show a month or two ago.
I like that it's called the Middle Finger 5K because I get why it's called that.
Giving the finger to cancer.
And last but not least, I don't know if it's SPA or SPA. SPA Ballet Company presents Beauty and the Beast on Saturday and Sunday at the Smith Opera House in Geneva. That would be fun to go to.
And you going to go?
I will.
To the Beauty and the Beast ballet?
I will not. I used to do ballet, so I
How old were you when you quit?
I had to quit in middle school because of sports. I had to choose because I played so many sports. So, sorry, ballet.
You had to hang up your tutu.
I did. But there's a lot of sports going on, so let's get into it. You got running clock.
Yeah, it's Kentucky Derby Saturday, 6:50 p.m. post time on NBC. If you want to watch it, you can enjoy a Kentucky Derby breakfast at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack in Farmington on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then at 6 o'clock, you can head over to the all-new Victor Beer Hall for a Kentucky Derby party that'll start at 6 and go all night. So
I have to tell the family that one.
The NBA and NHL playoffs continue. I was up late last night watching the Warriors beat the Rockets to go up 2-0 in that series. That game started at like 10:30. It's crazy. Cornell lacrosse is at the Ivy tournament. They play Yale on Friday at 8:30 p.m. You can watch it on ESPNU. Championship game, if they should win, would be at noon on Sunday, also on ESPNU. And then the live NCAA Division I lacrosse selection show, the brackets being announced on Sunday night at 9 p.m., also on ESPNU. Find out where Syracuse is going. Find out where Cornell is going and who they're playing. And then Hobart is at Hobart, if they win the NEC tournament, I don't know if that's an automatic bid or not to get into the NCAA tournament, but I should have given Hobart's schedule for the weekend before because they're Division I. Their lacrosse program is Division I, just like Syracuse and Cornell. But they're at the NEC tournament. They're playing Sacred Heart Thursday at 8:30. Championship game, if they win, would be Saturday at 4 o'clock. The Yankees host the Twins Friday at 7:05, Saturday at 1:05, Sunday at 1:05, and then next week they start a 4-game series with the Mariners at Yankee Stadium starting on Monday night. The Mets are at the Brewers Friday at 8:10, Saturday at 7:10, Sunday at 2:10, and the PGA Tour is at the Wells Fargo Championship. You can watch that on CBS with early round coverage on the Golf Channel. So, yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
And if we don't mind going over our time for a minute or so here, there's legislation, Josh, that you might want to share with us about lemonade stands that's currently working its way through the New York State legislature.
So to really simplify this, there is a piece of legislation that would basically exclude children's lemonade stands from requiring them to go through the typical permitting process to acquire, a permit to sell things like liquids to human beings on a public street or something like that. Yes, and there's fees associated with that, and sometimes there's local laws and local ordinances. this would try to undo some of that, so a kid can be a damn kid and sell lemonade if they want to sell lemonade.
It happened.
How big a deal is that?
A health department at Ballston Spa, New York, actually shut down a lemonade stand, and Governor Cuomo ended up paying the $30 and getting the license for the kid. I don't know how much he cares about kids and lemonade stands, other than it was a great public.
I'm sure he actually paid that $30 fee and didn't just send an email to somebody and say, "You waive this now," and you pretend the fee was paid.
Either way,
how long has this been in place? This law?
Okay,
forever.
Yeah, I think this is. I think this is one of those things where this type of regulations always existed. It just hasn't ever been enforced because. Right. Why are you going to come down on a 10-year-old?
Yeah,
I know. I did it every year for like 6 years when I lived on Ovid Street for the farmers. What is it? Farm days.
Farm days.
I made good money too. Same people that would come.
I mean,
if you're really cranking in the profits, then maybe you should abide by the rules.
No,
but wait a second.
They want to take my money.
Here's my issue. When you made it, how did you make it? Because I don't think anybody is like. Literally, I don't envision a bunch of little kids taking lemons, cutting them in half, and then squeezing them out.
Country time.
They're literally just taking the powder and just mixing it up and there is no harm in that. They're hardly even touching anything.
Well, a health department inspector would want to see where the temperature that the stuff is stored at. Some lemonade stands sell cookies and other goods.
Yes.
They probably want to know where the water was coming from.
Can we just let kids be kids?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's kind of ridiculous. But, man, what a business. I remember I had lemonade stands. I had no upfront expense. My mom covered it all.
Right, I know.
I just sat there,
best business I ever started.
And my daughter had a lemonade stand last summer with her friend. It was like a spur-of-the-moment thing. They just decided to do it. Not at our house, but it was on State Street at a friend's house. And I remember I was at work. It was a weekday, and I drove by during my lunch, and I was like, "How's it going?" And she's like, "We made $38." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right, keep it up."
Keep going. I get a profit.
Maybe franchise this thing all over town.
Well, I'm so glad we got to talk on that, but we are definitely over.
Yes.
So I'm going to say thank you to everyone who joined us today. And if you enjoyed the show, click like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back next week. And until then, enjoy your first weekend in May and have a great time at Finger Lakes.